Hi, I'm Ben Martinek with Bona Fide Finance, and the topic we want to chat about today is somewhat surprising. It's the question of how should you file your taxes? Thanks for joining me, folks. If you're a first-generation physician, you may be introduced to this concept that you haven't really spent any time thinking about, because when you're thinking of taxes, you're often thinking about income and what gets taxed and how much does that income get taxed. But one of the critical things that impacts your the level of taxation you might see comes in a way that's not even income-based per se. It's your filing status. How are you going to file on your taxes? And there's different filing statuses available to people. You could file single, you can file married and jointly, you can file married but separately, you can file as head of household, you can file as qualified widower. There's a number of different possibilities, but the most common that people are pursuing are either single, married filing separately, or married filing jointly. If you're married, you should do married filing jointly. Because why would you file separately? I mean, we're together, aren't we? So it doesn't make any sense maybe to file separately. But whether you file separately or jointly can have a huge difference on those taxes. Now, how big of a difference really just kind of depends on a number of variables. One, it depends on are you a single income household, or do you have two sources of income? Do both of you work and produce earnings? Also, what's your state of residence? Because if you are in a common law state, which are how most states are handled, versus a community property state, which about a dozen states are handled, the way you handle filing separately on your taxes changes rather drastically as well. Do you have children maybe within the household? Because if you do, then some deductions or credits or benefits related to that could be going away by filing separately rather than jointly. So in our experience, there are times in which filing separately could produce a tax benefit to you. Specifically, if you live in a community property state, filing separately is not that much of a tax impact at all. It just kind of complicates things because now we have two returns rather than just one joint return. But there is a general tendency where you will pay more to file separately rather than jointly. And so, what would be some of the reasons to file separately? If you have student loans, that's probably one of the biggest reasons to file separately. You want to file separately so you can base your income for recertification purposes on just your individual earnings, and a requirement within the income-driven repayment plans is to file separately so that we look at just your individual earnings instead of the household earnings. But there could be other reasons why you might want to file separately. You have joint tax liability when you file jointly. And so if there's concerns about your spouse maybe fulfilling all their tax obligations or doing what they need to be doing, or maybe they've gotten themselves in trouble with the IRS or maybe some other government agencies, and they're in a point of garnishing wages or pulling refunds and then applying that to debts that are due, perhaps filing separately is the right way to go to keep that action from taking place. And so this is a bit of a nuanced conversation. It's not even directly related to income, but it can change things. And, the impact will vary. Sometimes it's just a few $100s for filing separately, but we've seen it be as much as $40,000 to file separately. So there could be a really big difference there. Just depends on what's going on in the household. And so if you're looking for help on this, you're not sure, you have student loans, you have taxes, because we all have taxes, we all have to submit these filings, and you're looking for guidance, why don't you reach out and give us a call? We'd love to chat with you and see about getting this straightened out. This is what we do really every single day for our clients. We handle taxes, we handle filing statuses, we handle student loans. So reach out to hello@bonafidefinance.com and you will get in touch with you. So you can give us a call at 701-203-3219. So thanks so much for listening, and wish you the best of luck on that filing status decision. Sometimes it is a little tricky.